Yesterday morning, I was on a phone call with a good friend, and our conversation kind of got a little deep. And she started to ask me about my spiritual awakening, and that's something I never really talked about, and but for a reason. And depending on who you are, what level you on, and what position God is putting you in, you may have multiple spiritual awakenings. And I have had multiple, but by just having that first one, I knew when I was having a spiritual awakening. I don't know how. I know. I just know. It's just different things that be happening. It feel like a little shift or something like that. But let me tell you, I done had two spiritual awakenings that I will not dare repeat. When I tell you, it was the worst for me. My first one is when my mom was transitioning and I was around family. Let me tell you what happened. Now, before I begin, I do want to let you know that I was on drugs during them times. And the reason that I let you know, so that nobody else will let you know. Yes, I was on drugs during them times. But the same thing that I was seeing and going through then is the same thing I'm seeing and going through now. So don't let anybody, I don't care who it is, but most of the time it be family that's trying to correct me about me. But I'm letting you know, yes, I was on drugs around that time. It wasn't like crack or stuff like that, but I was, I was doing me. But like I said, the same thing that I was seeing then is the same thing I'm seeing now. The same thing I'm not going through that what I was going through then, but it's the fact that the same stuff is still happening. And I'm about baby looking at a butterball turkey. Quit playing with me. So yes, I remember. So during my first spiritual awakening, it was kind of like the worst for me because I didn't have no one that was like me telling me, hey, you're going through a spiritual awakening. It's going to be okay. Just roll it out. I didn't have that because not only was I going through a spiritual awakening, I had found out someone was doing witchcraft as well. So it was just like I said, it was horrible. Everything on TV. Imagine my mom had transitioned February 10th. But during those last weeks or maybe even few months, like before the February 10th, it was nothing like Christmassy on TV. Like it wasn't nothing like jolly happiness on TV. It was nothing but Halloween stuff. Like I remember this one commercial where it was like it looked like a lady, a grown lady wrapped like a baby, and her hair was falling out. TV was kind of letting me know that my mom is transitioning, and for people that's not familiar with that word, I'm saying passing away, and it was this one where it was about Skechers shoes, but it had snakes all on it. Anybody that know me know I don't even fuck. You know what I mean? I just don't mess with those. But it was just a lot of things that was going on. But no one can tell me what I was going through, but what I was hearing. The TV started to talk to me. My phone started to talk to me. It When I say talk, I'm not saying like, oh, they stopping what they're doing and literally looking at me talking. No, okay, like one point in time, it got so bad I started to cover up my ears. And as I'm covering up my ears, I still can hear it because of how loud the TV and stuff is. I couldn't control nothing there because nothing there was mine. So it was like I had to go through what I was going through just so for existing. I was holding my ears, trying to cover my ears from all the stuff I was hearing because I didn't know what was talking to me. It was evil talking to me. I felt that. It was good talking to me. I felt that. But I just still, it was new for me. I didn't know what it was. And I went to cover my ears. Girl, why the damn TV say, oh, look at her. She's covering up her ears. I kid you not. And that was around the time I was starting to see spaceships. I was seeing spaceships. And like I said, I felt like I was going crazy. And that was like towards the end to where I was like, God, if you don't tell me what's going on, I'm just going to unalive myself. Like it got to that point until that night after I said that, my niece, she was very young. She was about maybe 8 years old. She came in there and she said, Annie, I know what you're looking at. I know it's right there. And I said, what? What is it? And you know how little kids is, they want to whisper everything in your ear. And she's like, so I get down, I'm like, what is it? She said, those are spaceships. Those are spaceships. In my heart, I felt so joyful. I felt so happy. Like right now, I felt happy to know that I'm not going crazy. And it was her that confirmed it, but that was God working through her to let her know you're not crazy. Everything you seeing right now, jot it down. And I did. I had a little notepad and I was writing everything down. Everything that I was seeing, everything I was hearing, I was writing everything down. And I was around family, and some of them did not make it no better, and some threatened me to put me in the little crazy home, the 8th floor in the hospital. Everybody know that floor, but that I was threatened to be put in there and everything. That's what made me start not talking. It was a point of time where I didn't talk anymore because I would just think of just being in somewhere that you fear and you just sitting there not talking. You just have to deal with everything you see and hear. When I tell you I had to cook during stuff like that, the bacon strips I was cooking breakfast for my dad, and it made me very emotional and mad. But I was cooking bacon strips for my dad, and the bacon strips turned into little snakes, and the sausage patties was like heartbeats, and it was beating out the griddle. If I start crying, tell me to shut the fuck up. But it get emotional because I felt like I was really by myself, and my mom was already transitioning, and that's who I talked to. She couldn't talk to me about it, no nothing. So yeah. So that's why I don't really talk about my first spiritual awakening, because I don't know. Maybe I am helping somebody else. Maybe it is other people that's going through the same thing I'm going through, where you can think something and all of a sudden the TV said, or you could say something and all of a sudden it's popping up on your phone, or it was a lot. It was so much that these little videos ain't really doing no justice for me or you, because when I tell you, it got deeper to where I couldn't sleep or anything until this lady came. And the lady was in my head. And I know it sounds crazy, but I know for a fact somebody out there going through or went through the same exact thing. The lady was in my head. Her name is Rose. And she was telling me, what if someone was after your destiny and they can easily get it because you're on drugs? You're choosing a side of darkness, and they can take your soul, or I don't know. It was just talking, and I said, and that's when she started making me do like deep breaths, like when I had anxiety, which I didn't know nothing about anxiety. I didn't know nothing about none of that. But she'd make me breathe in, breathe out. She'd make me go to the bathroom because there was no windows in the bathroom. Go to the bathroom, turn off the light, and defeat darkness. And I'm like, okay. And I started to do everything that my head was telling me to do. And I was going upstairs, going to the bathroom. I want to go deeper into this, but I feel like I will be exposing a lot of people, so, but I'm going to the first 2 to 3 weeks, I couldn't defeat darkness. I was so scared because I can feel something in there with me, and I'm like, I can feel that rising. And I had headphones, and I said, if someone is here with me, speak through my headphones. Them things said, and it sounded like just like this: I love you. Even though that was the most sweetest thing ever, Baby, look, listen. You know that one scene in the movie where the girl jump up and the popcorn go everywhere.